Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hey Descendants fans, thank you so much for watching and subscribing to my YouTube channel. For the life of me, I don't know how you guys are finding my videos, but you are, and I am forever thankful for each and every one of you finding my videos, clicking on my thumbnails. I don't promote these videos. That's the funny thing about these videos. I don't promote these videos. I just talk about Descendants and zombies on these videos. I speak from my heart. I never prepare any written statements. There are no teleprompters. There are no special effects. I just talk about Descendants and zombies from my heart, and I think that is the most powerful way to do it. Because I could be one of those guys that read off of a script and be like this for most of the video. And that doesn't make any sense to me because I'm just looking down at pre-written statements. I think if you're going to talk about Kylie Cantrell for how beautiful she is, I think you need to talk about her from your heart, because I think that Kylie Cantrell has seen her fair share of criticism from Googling herself to people writing written columns with Descendants because they may have seen the movie and taken it for what it's worth. I never ever wanted to take it for what it's worth. I wanted to give it a chance. And I wanted to create something special for each and every one of you, for every little girl who ever thought that the dream was possible, no matter what their dream was, which is why I really appreciated Kylie Cantrell taking my quote and adding it into the Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide tour this past weekend when she said that every dream is possible, because it really is. Thank you so much, Kylie. You are such a sweetheart for quoting me. That's been one of my favorite quotes to put out over this podcast for the last 25 years. But the better part of it, all I've ever wanted to do was to encourage a girl that every dream that she ever had was possible. If she wanted to believe that she could be a princess one day like her favorite Disney princess, then I never ever wanted to take that away from her. If she believed she could turn into a mermaid, I never ever wanted to take that away from her. If she believed that she could be stronger, I never ever wanted to take that away from her. And I feel as if a lot of podcasts are just talking about Descendants, but they're not really talking about it from their heart. They're telling you what they liked about the movie, what they didn't like about the movie, and it really makes no sense to anybody because it's just put together by AI who just are out for the look for subscribers and to be put over on their own YouTube channels to achieve monetization or whatever that is, whatever their purpose or their motive is behind their videos. There are videos about Descendants and zombies uploaded every hour. I just got home. I went out and did a couple of errands, shopped around a little bit. I had to buy a new headset for my set here because my old headset is kind of on the outs. So I had to go out and purchase a new headset. And when I got home, there was already a new Zombies 5 video out suggesting that we will see the release window as early as 2026. I will be talking about that later on tonight on my podcast, so if you are a Zombies fan out there watching this video, if you are someone who believes you are infected or you are a vampire, you can join me tonight and we can talk about that, because I find that these videos are being uploaded at rapid-fire rates. And it's somewhat concerning to me. It's somewhat alarming, because I want girls to find videos that are nice, where they can hear positive reviews about their favorite Descendant stars and characters that they have fallen in love with and have been beloved for forever. I love cute videos where Kylie Cantrell says she has never watched Shrek. I love cute videos where they ask Freya Sky, would she prefer French fries or onion rings? Would she prefer playing board games or video games? I've loved watching these videos about Descendants characters for forever, and I seemingly have gotten to know them for who they are, perhaps better than what they are. So I know all these random facts, how Freya Sky loves to play board games more so than she does video games. So I guess she's on the outs for playing Fortnite with me. I don't know how Ruby feels about Fortnite, but I also know that Ruby Rose Turner loves English muffins, and I know that Ruby Rose Turner loves to eat tacky chips, which I ate a bag of last night. So they're really spicy chips. I wouldn't recommend them to anybody. I also know that Meg Donnelly's dad ran every day of his life for 30 years to stay in shape. I know Meg Donnelly is trying to pick up running. I know Meg Donnelly loves to sing, but she also doubts herself because of her anxiety and her panic attacks that sneak up on her from time to time. I really appreciate this franchise so much, so I go above and beyond the requirements of a YouTube creator to really understand what these two franchises are really all about. And I think the excitement from chapter to chapter is something that is never taken into consideration enough, because while we may know what to expect from chapter to chapter with Descendants, with the characters to be expected to be introduced into the franchise, like Mani Segura portraying Pink as Red's sister, but having everything to do with the consequences of time travel, we don't know what to expect from the Zombies franchise, because we don't know what supernatural creatures we will see. Will it be mermaids? Will it be something else found within the vortex? I would have loved to have jumped into that vortex. I would have loved to have been the creative designer behind the creative art behind that vortex, because I would have really done my best to bring out the special effects for zombies. And I think the special effects for zombies are really at an all-time high because of the creatures that have to be created who have yet to see their introduction into the franchise. And it really stretches your imagination beyond the requirements of imagination of what to expect, how this plot will unfold, how the story will be conveyed. I really appreciate this. I would love to be on the creative team for both of the franchises, Descendants or Zombies. I would love to own the franchises because you would see so many chapters and you would never see an end to it. I don't like how these shows are saying that we're coming to the end of Descendants or Zombies and we're saying goodbye. We are far from saying goodbye. These franchises are far from over. Just as sure as the sun is coming in through my window this afternoon, these franchises still have a long way to go. We have so many characters that are being introduced into the franchise, not just to say goodbye, but to secure the future of the franchise. So necessarily, if we don't get Mila Baker and Kylie Cantrell by Descendants 6, we'll have somebody else to carry on the torch. Which is what Zombies 4 did with Malachi Burton and Freya Kai, having the torch passed to them, because now they will carry on the legacy of the Zombies, which is a franchise that meant so much to the Sarahs Magdonley and Mila Manheim, who I'm going to dearly miss in Zombies 5. Just knowing they're behind the camera, though, gives me a great deal of satisfaction. I would preferably love to be the guy behind the camera, though, rather than Magdonley and Mila Manheim, because I think there's a lot that I could offer to this. I would love to be on the creative team and just create for this. And create in ways that many of you probably would never have been able to imagine. Because I can create new storylines, I can create new creatures for to be examined into the Zombies franchise, and to create a lot of confliction. I would have loved to have been in these high action scenes where, thousands of zombies were coming at me from out of nowhere, and I wouldn't know what to do from one moment to the next. It would have been a really, holy shit kind of experience, with guns going off, me shooting a bunch of zombies. I just love action movies, and I would have loved to have experienced it in a whole different way. I think that from every director that we have seen be a part of the Descendants or Zombies franchises, they have had their own take, and a very unique take on the Descendants franchise. I think Kenny Ortega did a fabulous job, but I also believe that Jennifer Fang did a fabulous job, and I believe that Kimmy Gatewood will do a fabulous job with Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. But I'm at a loss for words that Ruby is not going to be a part of it. I think every video I do, I talk about how much I miss Ruby. As fabulous as people are, as Freya Sky and Malachi Burton, I think that you just can't have the Descendants franchise without Ruby. There's just something about Ruby Rose Turner that gets me every single time. That song, Life is Sweeter When You Are, is a song that's always and forever and always will be stuck in the back of my mind, because it's just such a beautiful song. And Ruby was such a strong, fearless character, and she's always been a strong, fearless person. And if anything, Ruby has inspired me to be a better person, because Ruby was just so kind. That's what really stood out at me about Ruby, was that Ruby was just so kind, and she didn't care what anybody thought of her. She joined a gym, she got in shape for her role as Bridget, the Young Queen of Hearts for Descendants, The Rise of Red. And it was just, I cried myself to sleep every night knowing that Ruby's time with Descendants was very short-lived, because Ruby had so much to offer with that character. I think more than just an explanation behind why the Queen of Hearts was so evil, who ultimately became just a character that got on all of our nerves. And what I mean by all of our nerves, our last nerve. Rita Ora did a fabulous job portraying such an iconic character, though. I think nobody could have done it better than what she did. And of course, Brandy's portrayal of Cinderella was mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. There was just something with this music and the vibe of it being a musical that I really appreciated. And I know a lot of guys don't talk about musicals on their YouTube channel, but I could talk about musicals for hours. I loved Ariana Grande and Wicked. I loved Kylie Cantrell in musicals like High School Musical, the series. Beautiful, beautiful representation of characters that Kylie idolized when she was a child. And if there was ever somebody I could have given the opportunity to portray characters from High School Musical and Descendants, it would have had to have been Kylie, hands down. I think that if I would have had to review 500 Descendants audition tapes, I would have chosen Kylie's Just As Fast As You Can Snap Your Fingers. I would have chosen Ruby without even thinking about it, Just As Fast As You Could Snap Your Fingers. It's just all this criticism that Kylie Cantrell is receiving, I think, is completely unnecessary, especially when she's just really trying to figure out her place in life and her place in the world, and she really can't make sense of it on times. That's why you guys have been incredibly supportive of her, and I can't forget to mention how incredibly supportive you've been of this YouTube channel. I mean, I just got 30,000 views put up on this YouTube channel today, and over 2,740 subscribers have come in on this YouTube channel. There are still more to come, and I'm sure by the time I upload this video and it gets out on the YouTube platform, I will have a lot of subscribers from this video. If you are someone who has yet to subscribe to this YouTube video, or are looking for a reason to subscribe to a Descendants and Zombies themed YouTube channel, if you've wanted the Descendants and Zombies YouTube show for far long enough than this podcast, you should look no further or go no further down the path. You should stay here for forever, because I really think you're going to really appreciate these videos that are on this channel. I had to put it out there that I will be celebrating Meg Donnelly's birthday on July 25th. She is a July baby, so we will be celebrating that on July 25th. So if you want to be a part of that and get a notification when that video drops on my YouTube channel, you're going to want to ring my bell to stay up to date with notifications. I've loved Meg Donnelly ever since she was born. July 25th, 2000 was when she was born. And what was I doing in the year 2000? Well, it was just the turn of the millennium. And I was playing PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 was released on March 5th, 2000, and I just got my first PS2. And I was playing all these sports video games. I was really into pro wrestling and Crash Bandicoot, and I was a big PS2 fan. I think that if you didn't have PS2 in the year 2000, you weren't cool. And I was watching movies like Toy Story 2, and it was a really fun time to be a kid. And I wish I could go back in time and just live all my childhood out again, because I had so many fond memories. Growing up in the 1990s was so cool. The turn of the millennium. I was a millennial, so being a millennial gave me a lot of opportunities that a lot of you guys probably have never had the chance to experience, which is why I would love to pull a Phineas and Ferb and take Kylie Cantrell back to the 1990s when the Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears were at the heights of their popularity, and Slinkies were cool, and Pongos were cool. They were these little pogs you could slam down and play board games with. I love playing board games like Monopoly and 13 Dead End Drive, and Nightmare was a cool one too, although it was really scary. Playing that. Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark had this really cool board game. Mila Baker was on the reboot of Are You Afraid of the Dark in 2022. I think she was a part of the Curse of the Shadows, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And she may have been a part of the Carnival of Doom. I'm not exactly sure on that, but I know she was a part of Curse of the Shadows in 2022 when that was filmed during the pandemic. And I remember in the 90s, Are You Afraid of the Dark had a lot of merch. And one of the pieces of merchandise they had was this really cool board game where players would compete to be a member of the Midnight Society. And I remember being a fan, such a huge fan of the original Are You Afraid of the Dark series. Every Friday and Saturday night, I was in front of my TV watching YTV here in Canada, watching the latest episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I thought it was so cool. And seeing her being a part of the Are You Afraid of the Dark reboots were amazing from 2019 to 2022. I wish they would make another episode, another mini-series of this, because it was just so cool. DJ McHale years ago did a great job with this one, and the new producers did a great job with this too. I wish Mila Baker would have had more of an opportunity to create. I think that this is one of the most fond roles as Chloe Charming that I'm particularly fond of for her, and I just want to put it out there that I think she has a promising future. I know I don't talk about her a whole lot on this show because I'm particularly fond of Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner and what they've given to this franchise. I think that Mila Baker's just really trying to figure out her place and her position in this franchise, but in due time she will, and I will give her the benefit of the doubt, and I will give her credit where credit is due, because she's always there for the PR, she's always there for the Q&A, she's always there to answer questions when a lot of Descendant stars really aren't there or don't even know what to say. So I think she's cool. I think she's cooler than a lot of people who have been in the roles of characters like Evie, like Sophia Carson, who had no backstory whatsoever. As fabulous of a job as what Sophia Carson did, I don't think she was as much of an appealing character, as much of an inspiration she may have been to millions. I don't think she was as appealing of a character as what Bridget was, portrayed by Ruby Rose Turner, again, because she was just so kind. She was just so kind, and if anything, she inspired me to be a better person. I think there are more kind girls out there watching these videos now than there ever were before because of what Ruby was stilled in all of our minds. And if you notice, there are more girls even signing up for gyms now and lifting weights now because of what Bridget's character portrayed in the Rise of Red franchise, telling us all to stand up for what we believed in, stand up against our bullies, and just be ourselves no matter what anybody thinks of us. And that is so cool. That deserves credit, and a lot of credit, perhaps more credit than I could ever give to somebody for what they inspire people to do. I mean, more girls now are signing up for the gym, which I find to be incredibly amazing. I don't know if there are any people who would like to subscribe to this YouTube channel who do that kind of thing, but I think it would be cool if you would hit the subscribe button if you do join the gym, or you have swim, or you have joined the volleyball team or cheerleading team, to offer inspiration to people who watch these videos who are probably thinking about doing the same thing, because believe you me, every dream that a child has is achievable, and I really don't care what that dream is. We got that from Zombies too, because Zombies was a movie about acceptance and just being yourself for who you want to be and how you want to be perceived. No matter if you were a zombie, no matter if you were a werewolf, no matter if you were a vampire, no matter if you were an alien even. It was really cool how they brought aliens into it by 2022, and then they took a break and they came back with Dawn of the Vampires. I was wondering if we were going to see vampires seen an introduction into this franchise. A lot of people thought they were going to stop by Zombies 3 because the trilogy and the story had been completed. But again, you can't tell a story in 90 minutes, which is the average length of a Zombies movie. It's 90 minutes. And you can't tell a story in 90 minutes, nor can you for The Rise of Red, which was, again, a 90-minute production. There are so many unanswered questions, and they purposely leave questions unanswered for the next installment, which makes it even more exciting for the fans that are, tens of millions of people who love Descendants of Zombies because of the music, because of the powerful message. I'm sure that I take you back in time with these videos. It's a real time travel experience. It's a really uplifting experience because I take you back to when songs like Rotten to the Core and Chillin' Like a Villain were at the heights of its popularity. I mean, what little girl out there didn't dance in front of her mirror because of Chillin' Like a Villain? Every little girl got down to that song, and it was my favorite song by Descendants 2 because I really believe that Descendants 2, the music got better by Descendants 2. The movie opened up with the song Ways to be Wicked. The Cauldron was in front of us. All the stars of Descendants who were going to have a significant impact scene in that movie were in the opening scene. And from the opening dance number, Ways to be Wicked, just as it was for Rotten to the Core in 2015, by 2015's introduction of Rotten to the Core, the music just got better. The music wasn't the best in the first Descendants movie. If Only was a great song. But I think that Rotten to the Core and If Only were the two songs that really put this one over. And then by Descendants 2, the music just got phenomenal and got better from installment to installment. And then The Rise of Red had this really upbeat hip-hop vibe that I think the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, and Jessica Simpson would have been really proud of, because that's what they really tried to do in the 90s, was really, set the pace for what music was going to be for generations to follow. And I think that celebrities of the past will be very happy with what the celebrities of the present are doing with the music, which is why I look forward to the new songs for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland. I don't really pay particular attention to the songs that have apparently been leaked for the introduction of the Pink character, who will obviously have her own song on YouTube, because we won't know anything about the music until it premieres in the Descendants movies. The Descendants franchise and the Zombies franchise do a fabulous job kayfabing that, which means they keep it undercover for us, because they want us to be excited for the music, they want us to be excited for the plot. And if you notice, there isn't really many graphics released for Descendants Wicked Wonderland. I have had to Photoshop a lot of images. I've created my own version of the Wicked Wonderland logo, and that video actually got over, I think it was 400 plus views as of this morning. So I want to say thank you to everybody who liked my originally created Photoshopped Wicked Wonderland graphic, as it makes the rounds on social media now. For some reason, I have been made and designated the voice of Descendants for Zombies. And it's a huge honor. It really is a huge honor, because I've been following this franchise for over 10 years. And I try to upload at least 2 or 3 videos per day, because I just want to have this message be stronger than ever, that every dream that someone may have out there is possible. That's why I don't ever regret having financed this YouTube channel in the ways that I have, with the camera, the microphone, the hard drives for the footage, the laptops, what have you, and that I have a team of people that you don't see that help me out a great deal with the show, that make this show possible for every little girl who ever had a dream. When I first moved into this house, all I ever wanted to do, I moved into a house that was in a soda plantation, a chemical plant, which is quite cool. And an experience I think you should all take yourself upon. Then again, the more that I think about it, probably you should refrain from doing that. But I'm not saying not to take yourself up on the opportunity or chance to move into a house near a soda plantation or a chemical plant, because it's really cool and really extravagant when you do that kind of thing. But I really wanted to feel as if I were a part of both franchises, especially the Zombies franchise, because if you're creating a video as a YouTube creator, your responsibility is to be into what you're talking about and just not talk about it for the sake of talking about it. And I like to believe that I bring this to life in a way that I deserve to be honored by the Disney company. Now, whether or not I will be honored by the Disney company, I really don't know. But I hope I do go down in history for having a legacy, for having talked about Descendants or Zombies. You guys have made me famous, more famous than any of my friends on YouTube. And a lot of my friends do have channels on YouTube, but they're never as famous as this. They have never gotten to this point. This is very pivotal for me because you have solidified my legacy and made for sure, certainly, that my legacy will go down in history for having been one of the greatest podcasts to ever devoted he or she's time to talking about Descendants or Zombies. Am I excited for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland? Yes, I love the title. I love everything about it. Everything seems to make sense. While other podcasters can't seem to wrap their minds around why this franchise has captivated millions of people, I am really excited about it, but you don't really have to think long and hard as to why it's captivated millions of people. It's got everything to do with the music. It's got everything to do with the positive vibe, the very strong vibe. And if you've seen the gym regimens of Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker and Ruby Rose Turner, I mean, they have muscles in places that most people don't have muscles. So, having said that, they are stronger than ever before. They've inspired a lot of people to be stronger themselves, and I think that there is a lot of stuff that could be allocated for Descendants. There could be a bigger budget to enable us to have a better story, a better plot, a more unpredictable environment for people to experience and become enthralled with. That's why I've been really putting it out there that I would have loved to have been the producer of Descendants or Zombies, because I think I have a lot to offer to this franchise. And if you could hit the subscribe button and help Jonathan Clarke get into the Descendants franchise, I would be forever and eternally grateful for each and every one of you, because I have put my heart and soul into these videos, and I don't regret ever having done that, because I know how much these two franchises mean to every single person who ever said they loved Red, whoever said they loved Chloe. I get that. And I think that every scenario that you guys have been leaving in my comments or on discussion forums pertaining to Descendants or Zombies makes perfect sense, because the more that I think about it, I think that probably Red and Chloe could end up in a relationship, as far out there as that may sound. Given the age demographic that this appeals to. There are so many different age demographics you have to take into consideration. The same thing could be said about Zombies, because people are watching it in high school when they watched it when they were just 9 years old now. So they're just as excited about Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires as they were 7 years ago. I remember the first time I saw Zombies, and I was blown away by it. I'll be elaborating more on this on my upcoming podcast tonight. I hope you join me for that. Because I have to go and take a little bit of a reprieve before I come back and recharge my brain, kind of thing, because I have a goldfish kind of brain. I've been called an analyst for Descendants. I've been told I have a PhD in Descendants. I don't necessarily know if I have a PhD in Descendants. I don't know if I go as far as that. But I know that I go further than a lot of YouTube creators would go with this, to make sure that you have one new video every day pertaining to Descendants or Zombies, so that not only the cast can be proud of what I do, but because of each and every one of you can be proud of what I do. I don't know how many girls out there want to hit my subscribe button, but I would love for you to be a part of this so you can experience it in a way that it was meant to be experienced, because I do have a whole lot of fun creating these videos for each and every one of you. It means so much to me, being able to sit in front of this podcast microphone every day and night, and being able to critique Descendants and Zombies in a way that I think it's been meant to be critiqued for a very long time now. Because I'm tired of hearing all the reviews of people, how they criticize Descendants or Zombies for no particular reason, criticizing the points of view of people like Kylie and Malia. We've really got to leave them alone, and I just want them to feel satisfactory with what they find about themselves when they Google themselves, or they search videos on YouTube or TikTok. At least this podcast makes perfect sense. And I love putting money behind it. I love creating content for this channel. And I just love knowing that you're here. And really the only way that you can know me, that you can let me know that you love these videos, the only way you can let me know that you love these videos is by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the like button a couple of thousand times. So right now I have 2,740 subscribers. I hate when it gets stuck at a certain number, and it could be stuck at a certain number for days. And in order to get like 300 subscribers, I would have to make 325 or 350 plus videos. I know per every 1 or 2 subscribers I put up on this YouTube channel, because one of the greatest challenges as a YouTube creator is convincing somebody to hit the subscribe button because he or she loves Descendants. I know that 95% of the audience that I have are all girls, and that is a huge honor to have 100 girls watching these videos every single day and thousands of girls subscribing. So if there's a girl out there who is a huge Descendants fan and thinks she's strong enough to hit the subscribe button, by all means do it and become a part of this beautiful community. I would love for you to experience Descendants in a way that it was meant to be experienced, and I'd like to believe that I help you out with that with every video I drop in my archives and newly feature as the trailer on this YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe through the app link in the description of my YouTube channel as well, because we have a phone that will directly take you into the YouTube app through your phone, so you don't have to subscribe to the channel. But if you can just simply hit the subscribe button to help all dreams become a reality and a realization, I would love that, because I do believe that dreams do have a chance of coming true, becoming a reality, and the more that we believe that and can instill that in the minds of people who don't necessarily believe that it can happen for them, no matter what their dream is, I think the bigger of a difference we make. I love you all, seriously. Thank you so much for being here. What do you say we take ourselves up in this opportunity to go spread some kindness right now, because there's somebody out there who needs it. It's probably a friend of yours, probably someone you haven't talked to in a really long time. IM them through your iPhone, message them through Facebook Messenger, whatever, and let them know that you love them, because kindness really does go a long way. I will be back throughout tonight to discuss Zombies 5 and the future of the Zombies franchise. I hope you join me for that. We'll probably talk even a little bit more about Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. The release window is looking like summer 2026, although we're waiting on confirmation for that. As it gets closer, we'll know more about it. I will drop videos every single day for the next year for you guys, and possibly for the rest of my life, because all of you love this YouTube channel and have made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, which I can't thank you enough from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. So hit the subscribe button before you get out of here. Go spread some kindness, because kindness really does go a long way in this world. With that having been said, bye YouTube. We will do this again in just a couple of hours. Stay calm and zombie on.